what?
You've got to snap your wrist on the back.
Usually I like a little music at this point.
Hey, free as a bird, apparently. You go everywhere you want with whomever. That much freedom could maybe get a fellow into trouble. What do you think?
I'd like my keys.
Could it be you don't remember me?
Robert De Niro paid $5,000 to destroy his own teeth. Spielberg reportedly wanted Bill Murray as a psychotic killer. And the most disturbing scene in Cape Fear? Allegedly improvised in one take. What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about this 1991 masterpiece. From shocking method acting that went too far, to behind-the-scenes chaos that nearly derailed production, these 20 facts prove Cape Fear is way darker than the movie itself. Let's dive in. You thought Cape Fear was unsettling? Wait till you see what we uncover next. Subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us as we keep digging through Hollywood's darkest corners. Fact 1. The most disturbing moment in Cape Fear reportedly happened without warning. That high school auditorium scene where Max Cady seduces Danielle? According to reports, it was largely improvised by De Niro and Juliette Lewis in one take, using 2 cameras. But here's the truly shocking part. Lewis reportedly had no idea De Niro was going to stick his thumb in her mouth before kissing her. Scorsese allegedly only told her De Niro was going to do something right before they rolled. Her genuine shock and confusion? Apparently totally real. That raw, uncomfortable energy you feel watching it reportedly wasn't acting. It's a 15-year-old actress genuinely caught off guard. Fact 2. Robert De Niro's commitment to Max Cady reached genuinely insane levels. He paid a dentist $5,000 to grind down his teeth to look menacing and predatory. He walked around for months with deliberately damaged teeth, transforming his smile into something nightmarish. But the story doesn't end there. After filming Wrapped, De Niro had to pay another $20,000 to have his teeth fixed and restored to normal. That's right, he spent $25,000 total, endured months of dental work and discomfort, all to make his character look slightly more threatening on screen. That's $25 grand for a cosmetic detail most viewers probably didn't even consciously notice.
Would you care to tell the court what the gist was of this report?
Katie, it was 14 years ago. I can't remember that.
Fact 3. Before Martin Scorsese took over Cape Fear, Steven Spielberg had a bizarrely different vision. His choice to play the terrifying psychopathic Max Cady? Bill Murray. Yes, that Bill Murray. The comedic genius from Ghostbusters and Groundhog Day was Spielberg's pick to play one of cinema's most disturbing villains. Try to imagine Murray delivering those menacing Southern fried monologues and stalking a family with murderous intent. It's almost impossible to picture, right? While Murray certainly proved he could do drama later in his career, this casting choice remains one of Hollywood's most baffling what-ifs. Thank God Scorsese brought in De Niro instead, or we might have gotten a very different, possibly unintentionally comedic version of Cape Fear.
Okay, Katie, moment you've been waiting for.
Fact 4. Hollywood legend claims Steven Spielberg and Martin Scorsese made an official trade, Cape Fear for Schindler's List. The story goes that Spielberg found Cape Fear too violent and swapped projects with Scorsese through super agent Mike Ovitz. It became one of cinema's most famous anecdotes about two masters exchanging visions. There's just one problem. Both directors insist it never happened. Spielberg later stated emphatically, "I would never have done that. Marty would never have done that. There was never a trade." Yet the myth persists decades later, repeated in documentaries and articles. The truth? They simply developed different projects around the same time. Sometimes the legend really is more entertaining than the truth, and Hollywood never lets facts ruin a good story.
Hey, free as a bird, apparently. You go everywhere you want with whomever. That much freedom could maybe get a fellow into trouble. What do you think?
I'd like my keys.
Could it be you don't remember me?
Fact 5. Harrison Ford read the Cape Fear script and made an unusual request. He wanted to play Max Cady, not the hero, Sam Bowden, the psychotic tattooed ex-convict stalking a family for revenge. Ford specifically wanted the villain role, seeing something dark and exciting in the character. But there was one immovable obstacle: Robert De Niro. De Niro absolutely refused to give up playing Cady, holding firm on the role he'd already claimed. With De Niro locked in as the antagonist, Ford walked away from the project entirely, and Nick Nolte stepped in to play Sam Bowden instead. Imagine an alternate universe where Han Solo and Indiana Jones became one of cinema's most disturbing villains.
I know. You gotta, look,
What?
you gotta snap your wrist on the back.
Usually I like a little music at this point.
Fact 6. Robert De Niro's thick, menacing Southern accent for Max Cady was so convincing it genuinely unsettled Martin Scorsese. But De Niro took it further, turning his preparation into psychological warfare. He would call Scorsese's house and leave voicemails in character as Max Cady, delivering threatening monologues on his director's answering machine. Imagine coming home and hearing that gravelly, predatory voice waiting for you in the dark. Scorsese was genuinely unnerved by these calls, never quite sure when his lead actor would terrorize him next. It's method acting taken to an extreme, where preparation becomes pranks, and pranks become borderline psychological torture.
Excuse me.
Fact 7. Robert De Niro didn't just get in shape for Max Cady, he transformed his body into something almost superhuman. He cut his body fat down to just 3% while simultaneously adding bulky muscle mass, creating the intimidating, powerful physique of a prison-hardened ex-convict. To put that in perspective, 3% body fat is dangerously low, the level professional bodybuilders reach only days before competitions. De Niro maintained this extreme physical state throughout filming. He even convinced Scorsese to delay shooting any shirtless scenes until the very end of production, working out 5 hours every single night during filming so he could be as ripped as physically possible for those final shots.
I sent you to the ninth circle of hell. Now you will learn about loss. Loss of freedom. Loss of humanity.
Fact 8. Max Cady's extensive biblical tattoos are iconic, covering his back, arms, and torso with religious verses twisted into threats. But those weren't permanent. De Niro was tattooed with special vegetable dyes that would fade after a few months, avoiding permanent body modification. De Niro worked closely with Scorsese and artist Ilona Herman to carefully identify specific Bible verses and designs that would reflect Cady's warped religious worldview and prison mentality. Every tattoo had meaning, creating a visual map of the character's twisted psychology. The attention to detail was obsessive, ensuring every piece of ink told part of Cady's disturbing story, even if audiences only glimpsed them briefly.
All right, let's put the arms out. Put the arms out straight. Roll your palms.
Do what he says.
Turn around slow.
Fact 9. To perfect Max Cady's authentic Southern accent, Robert De Niro went full investigative journalist. He took excerpts of the script and a tape recorder, then traveled into small Southern towns across the region. He'd approach locals and ask them to read his lines into the tape recorder, collecting dozens of authentic regional voices and pronunciations. Then, he'd study these recordings obsessively, picking apart the cadence, the drawl, the subtle variations, and how different Southerners shape their words. It's an incredibly methodical, almost anthropological approach to dialect work. Most actors just hire a dialect coach. De Niro created his own custom library of primary source material, building his accent from the ground up.
I want to thank you for conveying to me your very powerful emotions. Because
Fact 10. In the brutal scene where Max Cady handcuffs Lori Davis, the original script reportedly called for her to panic and freak out immediately. Standard victim behavior, exactly what audiences would expect. But actress Ileana Douglas allegedly suggested her character should laugh and try to play along instead, as if this might be some kind of rough foreplay she could control. It's a chilling choice that makes the scene infinitely more uncomfortable, watching someone desperately try to normalize their own assault, using denial as a survival mechanism. That laughing, flirtatious response before the violence escalates transforms a typical horror scene into something psychologically devastating that lingers long after.
Am I under arrest?
you're not quite, darling.
Officer, I swear, it's all a mistake.
Fact 11. That haunting shot where Lee Bowden spots Max Cady sitting on the wall during the fireworks display? It's completely fake. De Niro was filmed in front of a blue screen on a soundstage, nowhere near actual fireworks. The entire pyrotechnic display was added in post-production, composited behind him to create that menacing silhouette against exploding colors. It's a reminder that some of cinema's most memorable images are total illusions. The technological trickery actually enhances the scene's dreamlike, nightmarish quality. Cady appears almost supernatural, a demon materializing against celebratory explosions, watching and waiting with infinite terrifying patience. Fact 12. That intense, storm-battered houseboat finale that feels so real and dangerous never left the studio. The entire climactic sequence was shot in a 90-foot water tank on a Universal Studios soundstage, with massive rain and wind machines simulating the hurricane conditions. No actual river, no real storm, no location shooting, just controlled chaos on a Hollywood lot. The claustrophobic intensity actually benefits from this artificial environment. Scorsese could control every drop of rain, every gust of wind, every wave crashing against the boat. The result feels more intense than reality, a manufactured nightmare more terrifying than anything nature could provide on an actual location shoot.
The people call Samuel J. Boat! Do you swear, tell the truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Fact 13. Gregory Peck's appearance in the Cape Fear remake held deep significance. It marked his final theatrical film role. The original Max Cady from 1962 returned 30 years later, transformed from protagonist to supporting character, passing the torch to a new generation. Peck plays a lawyer in the remake, a knowing wink to audiences familiar with the original. It's a poignant full-circle moment. The actor who first brought Cape Fear to screens gets to witness its dark reimagining before retiring from cinema. Peck died in 2003, making this cameo his lasting farewell to audiences who'd followed his career for decades.
I am so offended. Philistine tactics, Mr. Bowden. I petition the ABA for his disarm grounds of moral turpitude.
Fact 14. The opening credits weren't just designed by anyone. Saul Bass created them, the legendary graphic designer behind Hitchcock's most iconic title sequences. Scorsese deliberately hired Bass to channel pure Hitchcockian energy into Cape Fear. But here's the truly weird part. Portions of those credits were actually reused from the unreleased ending to Bass's own film, Phase 4. Scorsese didn't just want Hitchcock's designer, he wanted Hitchcock's actual visual DNA. He modeled the credits directly after Vertigo's hypnotic spirals and even used Bernard Herrmann's unused score from Hitchcock's Torn Curtain. Cape Fear is practically built from Hitchcock's unused parts, a Frankenstein's monster of the master of suspense's rejected materials.
Yes, Lee?
Listen to me, Max. Listen to me. You know, Max, since all this started, I've thought about you all the time. Tried to imagine what it must have been like for you.
Fact 15. A 14-year-old Reese Witherspoon auditioned for the role of Danielle, walking into one of Hollywood's most important meetings completely clueless. When her agent told her she'd be meeting Martin Scorsese, Witherspoon responded, "Who is he?" The agent mentioned Robert De Niro. "Never heard of him," Witherspoon replied with teenage honesty. This was 1991, before internet searches could instantly educate you. Witherspoon walked into that room not realizing she was meeting one of cinema's greatest directors and most legendary actors. Unsurprisingly, she lost the audition completely. Juliette Lewis got the role instead, but hey, Witherspoon did just fine for herself eventually, winning an Oscar and building her own empire.
He was just trying to make a connection with me, you know?
Danny, no, there will never be any connection between you and Max Cady. You understand that?
Fact 16. The Cape Fear screenplay went through 24 complete drafts before Scorsese was satisfied. Even more revealing, Scorsese initially hated the script the first 3 times he read it. He kept rejecting it, demanding rewrites, pushing the writers to dig deeper into the psychological horror. Most directors would have moved on after the second rejection. Scorsese's obsessive perfectionism meant script doctors kept returning to the material, finding new angles, deepening the characters, sharpening the tension. Those 24 drafts transformed a standard thriller remake into something genuinely disturbing and psychologically complex. Sometimes, greatness requires relentless dissatisfaction and the willingness to start over again and again.
You're gonna get to know me a lot better, too.
Fact 17. The midpoint scene where Lee Bowden meets Max Cady at the restaurant reportedly wasn't in the original script. Jessica Lange allegedly suggested adding it because she felt her character needed direct interaction with the antagonist before the climactic confrontation. It's a crucial addition that transforms the story's dynamics. That scene where Cady psychologically dominates Lee, subtly threatening while maintaining plausible deniability, adds layers of tension the film desperately needed. It shows Lange's understanding of narrative structure and character development. She recognized a missing piece and advocated for it. The scene became one of the film's most memorable sequences, proving actors can be storytellers too, seeing gaps writers and directors sometimes miss.
Can I help you?
I just found it. I thought you might need it back. Not to frighten you, but if a dog catcher comes across a dog without a license, he's liable to think it's a stray and do God knows what to it.
Fact 18. Cape Fear became the first R-rated film produced by Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment, the family-friendly company behind E.T., Back to the Future, and countless wholesome adventures. Spielberg had built Amblin's reputation on wonder and innocence, making this dark, violent thriller a bizarre departure for the production company. The contrast was so stark that Spielberg chose not to be credited on the finished film, keeping his name away from the brutal content. It's a fascinating contradiction. The man who created childhood magic producing a film about sexual assault, psychological torture, and graphic violence. Amblin returned to family fare immediately afterward, making Cape Fear their one dark detour.
What he did to me hurt a lot worse than this.
Fact 19. Despite directing masterpieces like Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, and Goodfellas, Cape Fear became Martin Scorsese's first film to gross over $100 million at the box office. After 2 decades of creating acclaimed cinema, Scorsese finally achieved massive commercial success with a mainstream thriller remake. The irony isn't lost. His most conventional, least personal film became his biggest hit. It proved that Scorsese could deliver blockbuster entertainment while maintaining his artistic integrity. Cape Fear's success gave Scorsese the commercial credibility to make riskier projects afterward, proving he wasn't just an art house director, but a filmmaker who could deliver both critical acclaim and box office gold. Fact 20. Cape Fear inspired the legendary 1993 Simpsons episode Cape Fear, where Sideshow Bob terrorizes the Simpson family. But here's where it gets weird. That parody episode became so beloved, so culturally significant, that it inspired its own stage play called Mr. Burns, a Post-Electric Play. The play imagines post-apocalyptic theater troupes attempting to recreate the Simpsons episode from memory generations after civilization collapses. So Cape Fear inspired a Simpsons parody, which inspired a post-apocalyptic play about preserving the parody as cultural mythology. It's an Ouroboros of pop culture, a remake inspiring a parody inspiring a play about remembering the parody. Meta doesn't even begin to describe it. Cape Fear isn't just a thriller, it's a masterclass in obsessive filmmaking, where everyone pushed boundaries too far. If these facts blew your mind, smash that like button and subscribe because we're diving into more insane movie secrets you won't believe. Drop a comment telling us which fact shocked you most or what movie we should investigate next. And if you made it this far, you're clearly obsessed with cinema secrets just like us. Hit that notification bell so you never miss when we expose the truth behind your favorite films. Trust me, the rabbit hole goes way deeper. See you in the next one.